So we decided to go out on our own, and we sold my wedding ring for $10,000.
Wait, don't say that so quickly. Say it again.
2 guys from Rolex stopped in here today. They said they want you to carry the line. We don't want that watch. That's
Right.
over. Who wants that watch?
That's what the employee said.
Yeah, that's what, and
said.
I said, listen, great. I'll take care of it when I get back.
I'm getting chills thinking about it now.
Wait a minute. I was reading something. Like Madeleine Albright? Is that like real?
Yes, he
Yes.
signed a
I was asked
for her.
to design a pin for her when she came to Pittsburgh.
The struggle is real.
Hello, and welcome to Living Your Legacy podcast. I'm your host, Greg Weimer, founder and CEO of Confluence Financial Partners, where our mission is to help people maximize their lives and shape their legacies. On this podcast, we will unpack the stories, strategies, and mindsets of individuals who are intentionally shaping their lives and the impact they leave behind. Learn what drives these individuals to push forward, to create, and to give back. It's just a privilege to be here with Veronica and Lou Guarino, the owners of Louis Anthony Jewelers. And your story is remarkable. So really appreciate you being here. And hopefully today, your passion for your business and really building a legacy will be an example for others. And so I thought what we could talk about today. So first of all, welcome. It's good to have you here. So I don't know who wants to start with the story first. Why don't we go back and show the commitment it took and the courage
Veronica,
to start the business?
much better at telling this. So we'll let her.
Yeah, you could be the villain in this thing, actually.
Yeah. Good guy.
You could be the villain
Cut
of this.
that out.
Lou was in the jewelry industry for almost 10 years and decided
Can we say where he was?
he was at Bailey Banks
Which
Biddle.
I remember.
And
In the mall?
The
Mhm.
company
Southwest Village, yeah.
the company had sold, and he wasn't able to take care of his clients to the level that he took care of them prior to this sale, because it was a privately held store when he first started there. So we decided to go out on our own, and we sold my wedding ring for $10,000.
Wait, don't say that so quickly. Say it again.
$10,000.
We sold.
My wedding ring for
That's the
$10,000.
important part. Yep.
And
Imagine saying to Lori, like,
Right.
hey, I have an idea.
To a-
We're looking to open up a new office. You see that? Can I have the ring back?
he-
So go ahead. So
well,
you
we were
did.
like, well, where are we going to get the money? We
Right.
had some money in a pension fund that he had from Bailey Banks Biddle, but then there was a client of his that always said, "Oh, if you wouldn't sell Veronica's ring, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. That's an awesome ring."
Looking at your.
That's not it.
It's not.
No, I'm not saying if I can buy anything off your finger.
So they did. So I said to Lou, "Well, maybe we could just sell this to them, and they'll buy it, and then we'll start our own business." Go, like
Wow.
you're young, you're
I
in
know,
your
but
20s.
there's
you
so
don't-
much to that. Like the fact that you're willing to sacrifice that, but equally that you were willing to do as a team.
Yes.
Right.
But- and I-
Because
you
you was
two are both
involved in the jewelry business.
You were.
At all. Veronica is not.
I was home. I was home raising our kids.
Right. And I had a unique position there because at the time, that store at Southwest Village was one of the top 3 stores in that organization for Zelle Corporation. So they let me run that store as if it were my own.
Okay.
So I had personal relationships with the clients. I had personal relationships with the vendors. And at the point that they hit this bankruptcy and the relationship with the vendors, number one, is shut off. Now what do? I still have my clients,
With nothing to shove.
but I can't supply them with what I had typically supplied them with originally. That's when we had a conversation and said, should we try this? Should we just branch out and do those?
I don't think, well, I think that's unique.
It is.
And I think maybe if I could say our generation,
Yes.
it's a couples thing. Like Lori and I were in this together. We're a team. We both live it. We love it. All right. I mean, it's what it is.
Without a doubt. Well, I was his biggest fan.
100%.
So I took over the marketing. I said, "Oh, well, I'll do the marketing. I'll get people
Yeah.
to the store." And that I came up with this Have We Met Yet campaign, which is still our campaign to this day.
Really?
We own it. It's trademarked,
Have we
copyrighted.
had yet? I love that. So
Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay.
I didn't
It
know.
was
Yeah.
Lou on
Of
a
course.
billboard.
Yeah. I've
Have we
seen
met?
you on the billboard.
Yet.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Everyone's
exactly.
seen Lou on billboard.
So at the time when I put Lou up on a billboard, we started in 90. We branded it in not branded the campaign in 92,
Let me just back up, because I think this is and I don't want to sound like an old person.
No.
And I don't want to sound like, this generation today. Do you think couples are that committed today that they would make the sacrifice that you two made, or Laura and I used to sleep in a single bedroom for we were broke, but we knew we wanted to do something together. Do you think that couples have that same commitment in general today?
Well, I think it's hard to speak to that because my kids grew up with so much more than I grew up.
Right.
I was one of 8 kids. I shared a bedroom with 3 siblings.
Yeah, but I know
You know,
they are committed.
Right. No, they're great.
I think your kids and our kids, I got to tell you, my kids work
They-
like dogs.
My kids work like dogs too, but they weren't asked to sacrifice
Right.
so much. They had a business to come right
Right.
into. They didn't have to build it. I think actually it's probably going to be more difficult for them because they have to continue the legacy.
Right. Okay, I have thoughts on that. Let's put that to
okay.
third. No, wait, that was.
Well, but I think with
that
every
was third,
generation,
'cause I think
there
that-
will be
Veronica, I
couples.
think that's it.
To answer your question, though, with every generation, there will be couples
Yes,
that stand out,
be that couple.
that are that couple,
Be that couple.
and there are those who aren't. And I think it's
I can't imagine doing it without the 110% support of your spouse. And we have male financial advisors, female financial advisors. So when we say spouse, I'm not saying what, we have some husbands that are rock stars to their financial advisor spouse, but I think it is a team sport. I just want to continue the story because, okay, you get $10,000. Okay. You have a little bit of money. Okay. You still have a job as far as I can tell. So how do you, you know what I mean? Where do you go from there?
so what we do is we find a spot where we can just settle in with a desktop, a couple of chairs, a vault,
A phone.
a phones, exactly. So we decorate
Rotary, no rotary.
tones,
Was
but-
it, we rented
No,
all
it
the
was
furniture.
push button.
Push
It
button.
was still push
State
button.
of the art.
Oh yeah, we rented the furniture. We didn't
rented
buy
the
it.
furniture.
Yeah.
So this is our idea was, okay, let's get started with, I have clients and I have the support of my vendors. They're ready to stand behind me, being that I left Bailey Banks Biddle. And that wasn't an easy feat to leave without some repercussions and threats from that company. And
Right.
no vendor will ever deal with you. But it went
Down in the
And
business.
So we just moved forward with it, and it worked.
We placed our first jewelry order.
Couldn't walk out of there with my Rolodex at the time with all my customer names. So I said, how are we gonna contact these people? I don't have their numbers written down everywhere.
Phone book.
Veronica hits the phone book, starts looking up the names.
The
which
white
I
pages, which, my
Yeah.
kids aren't even familiar with.
Right.
mean, it's
Like-
different
like
today.
that.
Everything's in your phone. You
Right.
carry your life around with you. Back then, you did it.
I get it.
So if you removed yourself from your business, your place of your desk, everything
Yeah, but
stayed behind.
So, but how do you go from putting your first order in for $10,000 to actually having Rolex? I mean, there's right. I mean,
Well, that's an interesting story because we didn't have Rolex right away, obviously,
Nor did we pursue that.
and we didn't think that we ever would. We were just kind of happy making a living, selling really beautiful pieces to a private clientele. Well, as time went on, and it wasn't a whole lot of time, but things started getting busy.
7 years.
And people were coming in the door more regularly. So Veronica would have to be there more often. We did hire one of my old employees back, kind of one at a time. We had a couple at one point, but just swimmingly along. And one day we're on vacation with the kids and we get a phone call from the store saying, oh, these 2 guys from Rolex stopped in here today. They said they want you to carry the line. We don't want that watch. That's
Right.
over. Who wants that watch?
That's
And we're
what
like,
the employees said.
yeah, that's what,
They
and
said.
I said, listen, great. I'll take care of it when I get back. So we got back to town. We called them and flew to New York, had a meeting, realized what what it would cost to get involved. Went to the bank and said, I know you hesitated giving us money before, but this is for Rolex. What do you say? And they jumped right on it. They said,
Right,
"Yes,
because we didn't have a
absolutely."
loan, any kind
So
of line of
just-
credit or anything. We
just a
we
ring that was sold. Yeah.
cash
So,
flow.
So you obviously had vision that was, that had a dream. There was some dream in there. Now that, dream by itself without planning doesn't really work.
Right.
But it feels like to me that could have been one of the defining moments for you. Is that true? Or were there others? When did you feel like, okay, I got out, like I got this thing going. When did you feel like, hey, this could potentially work? This feels pretty good.
Well, I think that was a defining moment, but there were other defining moments where we realized at a certain point where, and it's still true today, we've always believed in this, is that we can't be all things to all people.
Right.
So what are we going to do? We have a clientele that likes to buy beautiful, well-made, collectible pieces of jewelry. Let's just stick with that.
Wait a minute. I was reading something. Like Madeleine Albright? Is that like real?
Yes, he
Yes.
signed a.
I was asked
for her.
to design a pin for her when she came to Pittsburgh.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Where was that?
it's probably been almost 20 years now. When
Sorry.
she,
Yeah,
I said like
was,
that. I just thought that was cool.
Madeleine Albright was known for collecting pins, and she would express her sentiments, how she felt about a situation or a conversation she was in by the type of pin that she wore. So she was coming to Pittsburgh to do a speech, and the powers for I can't remember what organization it was. It was going to be at the museum, and the people in charge of the event came to Lou and they said, we'd really like you to design a pin for Madeleine Albright.
Obviously something she doesn't have.
So that she doesn't have
At my cost, which is fine. Is part of marketing, right?
Yeah.
So we poured through her collection of pins.
Yeah, and a friend of mine owns a store in DC, and she was a client of theirs. So I called. I said, listen, I'm not trying to poach your client or anything, but I've been asked to do this. Can you tell me a little bit about her? We just did our research on her, and all the things that she kind of liked, I kind of worked into this pin. So you can find this pin, the pictures of it online.
We'll go back to defining moments, but I think this is true in all businesses. And you didn't design what you thought you would like. You actually did enough research on her, so you designed something that was right for her.
Right.
Well, one of the things that was interesting is I have a pin that Lou designed for me. It's my monogram. And I get compliments on it. Got compliments on it then all the time and continue to. And that was inspired him to build the pin.
Because we found out she did not have a
monogram.
Okay.
So it inspired him to build the pin around her monogram along with the native flora and fauna of her country.
Yeah.
There was a lot of symbolism.
What year was that, roughly?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it was probably 15, 20 years ago.
At least
a long time.
20.
So defining moments, Rolex, maybe Madeleine, but you had defining moments, right? I mean,
Yeah.
So when was the moment? Correct.
The first defining moment was when we were in business for 6 months.
I'm still looking for mine, by the way.
We were in business for 6 months.
Yeah.
We had no cases. We just worked out of a safe. Lou worked off his desktop, and our doorbell rang. We were a buzz-in at the time. And this client of his that was a great client for years and years was standing there, someone that we were not able to get in touch with for some reason. And he opens the door and she's like, where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere.
And she's like, and you would unlock the door and not make me buzz in. I would have come in earlier.
And she came in that day and she spent 6 figures.
Wow.
In 1991. And we almost passed out. I mean, we were like, oh my.
I would call that a defining moment.
Yes.
It's not a bad one. Right.
We were able to buy
Right.
cases.
Just thankful her
We were
name's
able to buy
Lori Weimer.
cases.
that's my defining moment. All right. So you're like, so you guys, and I think that's important to hear because they see you today and they see your business today and they don't see when you get bruises. You get bruises, you have doubt, you wonder, my pappy said Avante. And so I just think about it, just keep moving forward. And somehow you just kept moving.
In bed awake at night.
In bed at 2:00 in the morning, you're thinking, what about? Did I have? What did we do? Right? All those things.
Oh, I'm getting chills thinking about it now.
But
the struggle is real.
Totally and I don't like what I said, but if you think about success and you think about the struggle, sometimes I think about the struggle as fondly as I think about the success.
Of course, and so do I.
Oh, sure.
Wouldn't change it.
No, because if you have to learn from every one of those struggles. You just can't struggle and put it behind you. I mean, you put it behind you, but
Yeah.
you have to take something away from it.
100%.
You know?
Okay, so here we are today. How do you go from a crowded marketplace? Because you guys scream like love. You scream service. What are some of the things you do? Because it's your passion, you live it, it's your business. We talk about that. What are the differentiators you think that really make you set the standard?
Well, you have to stay true to who you are. You know, you have to look at another defining moment was in 2008 when the
Stock market crash.
market crashed and the world was falling apart. And everybody in our industry said, you have to bring something into your store that a customer could come in and buy for $100.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's about
No.
all they're going to spend. And I said, and there was a brand that became very popular at the time and moving forward. And I said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'd rather not sell something for 4 or 5 days
Right.
and then sell one nice thing and stick to who I am as opposed to lowering my standards, because once you go down, it's really hard to climb back up. So keep it at that even level. And we did. We never brought in a lesser quality, cheaper brand of something to sell to somebody just to make a sale.
Yeah.
But I also think that when you walk into our store, you're walking into our home. We can't be home that much. So that's our home. So the way you would be treated if you came to my home is the way you're going to be treated if you come into our store. That's just the way it is. So it's, Cheers knew what was happening all the way back in the day. And that's the way our store is. Garrett at the door, everyone loves him, our big, security guy
Yeah.
who says hi to everyone. You know Garrett,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're greeted quickly when you walk through the door. We try to lower that.
How about that? You used to have a buzzer. Now you got a guy.
Yeah. No.
Right. You've come
He's
a
our
long way.
buzzer. You go,
Yeah,
Buzz
yeah.
Garrett.
It's a different deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we want people to come in and feel comfortable.
It's your home.
It's
So it's so you and I we're all participating in an event next week with Children's Hospital. But I learned that lesson again from Diane Hupp. I was the president of Children's. I was walking through Children's Hospital and I saw her reach down and pick up a piece of paper off the ground. And she teaches people in the hospital, it's like, it's your home. You wouldn't leave a piece of paper on the ground. It's your home.
Right.
So it's interesting when you say so what you're saying, whether it's a piece of paper, how you greet people, or who's at the front door, everything matters.
Everything matters. Everything matters. So, and I mean, no, we have people come into the store and say, I've never seen jewelry displayed like this. Your cases are so clean. There's no fingerprints. There's nothing. He's the one that
Yeah.
oversees
Yeah.
that.
It's a little OCD.
Yeah,
But-
that's okay.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
That's
So I let's talk about this because it's jewelry, it's a portfolio. There's got to be a greater purpose, right? I mean, there's got to be a greater purpose that that when you sell someone a piece of jewelry, it's not just a piece of jewelry, right? When we put someone in a portfolio, it's not just a portfolio. And I know we've talked about this in the past. Do you want to talk about how you think about that a little bit?
Well, I think we all want to be known for something at some point in our lives or after we're not in this life any longer. And the pieces of jewelry, the things that we sell are pieces of things that we want the customer to be proud of, obviously, and wear and enjoy, but they're going to leave that to somebody. They're going to leave that
That's exactly
to
what you told me.
a son, a daughter, a nephew. Maybe they have a distant cousin, whatever. But that jewelry is going to go somewhere, and it's going to outlive them and probably outlive the next generations with them. Veronica loves to tell the story of the ancient warriors and how they would sew rubies and gemstones into their
battle garments.
to protect them in battle. There's always been this lure, this
I mean, we were in London in September and the family jewels and
crown
right?
jewels
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah, exactly.
And what they stole from the Louvre.
Right.
Jewels.
Right.
Right. They stole the jewels.
I do think there's something about that being passed down through generations that is special.
Well, you put an energy into your jewelry, I mean, it is like the psychic always says, give me a ring, and let me feel, your energy coming through that ring. But you do. And the thing about jewelry is it's sustainable. So you inherit something, you don't like it, bring it to us. We'll take those diamonds out, we'll melt that gold down, we'll make something new out of it for you. But it's all the same materials, just now reformed into something else, right? You get a new ring, we take your old one, we turn it into a pendant. So with so many other things, your furniture, your clothing, whatever, you say, we're done with this, we need a new sofa, whatever. But do you ever throw a piece of jewelry in a Goodwill bag? I'm done with this ring. Throw it in a Goodwill bag.
Intentionally.
No, right.
No, you don't. There's a feeling of permanence about buying a piece.
So it is so hard to be successful without the sacrifice that you made. It's so hard to be successful unless, like you talking about jewelry, right? I mean, by the way, listeners, whether you believe it or not, like, to be successful, you have to have the passion, right? So you're thinking,
absolutely.
You're not thinking, hey, this is a transaction, here's a ring. You're thinking like, this is a family this is bigger than the ring. This is something that's going to go through generations.
Right. That passion carries you through because,
No question.
when you're young, like we were when we started the business, we were passionate about what we wanted to sell. And I don't think we initially knew what the impact that we were having on these families, especially now when I see these things pop up that I've sold 45 years ago, that'll pop up in somebody's estate.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about legacy, you don't realize what legacy is until you're a little bit older,
Right.
in life, and you can look back,
Right.
in your own life.
Yeah, we grow trees.
Right. What have I done? And now I see what I'm doing, and I know what I'm leaving, and so we really enjoy helping people create that for themselves.
To be successful in business, you have to fall in love, and then you need to tell everyone why you're in love. And if you don't love what you're doing, if you don't love what you're selling, if you don't love if you don't love it, it's just so hard. And so you love what you do. We love what we do, right? So like, I think it's key to fall in love, and then just say every day, like, okay, that's great. Don't rest on your laurels. Every day, how can I get better? So, I think we work on that like a lot. Like, how do we make this better? How do I, if I were a client, what more would I want? In your business, when you think about, we think about AI, we think about tax law, blah, 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 blah. In your world, like when you say, okay, like right now, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, feels like things are pretty good. How do you think about innovating? Like how do you innovate? How do you stay
Relevant? Good
Work on
question.
people that are younger.
Yeah, I know.
They help
You have to have that. You have to have that younger influence. You have to keep your eyes open as much as your passion, and sometimes that passion can turn into a stubbornness. You've got to put that aside, egos aside, and you've got to open your eyes to where business is going today, and look back to see what has happened in the past 30, 40, 50 years. Back in 1980, there were 2,500 shopping malls throughout the country. Now there's 1,200. I mean, look at some of those stats. And I'm not a big stat guy, but I do like to.
Did you read
check
that article? I did.
Yes, he threw it. How long was he? Put it up in the chat GPT for bullet points.
Took me a while.
He gave you homework.
Good one.
No, but again, it's interesting to look back and learn from what's going on.
Well, and you can go back and look at Toys R Us. You can go back and look at all the businesses.
Is that place?
But they listen, but think about it. Toys R Us, it was exactly the same over a 20-year period of time. I mean, like they did. I mean, this Sears, and you could go after business. And what I think is unfortunate, and that, we spent a lot of time thinking about, could not agree with you more about the young people. I think our 30-somethings are the best. Our 30-somethings, not hard to motivate, really work hard, crazy smart.
Look,
They make us better.
I'm diving into some 20-somethings right
We have some 20-somethings too.
I-
They will become 30-somethings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, they want to be 30-somethings. Then we have some 40-somethings, 50-somethings. And there's a couple of us,
I can't wait till I'm 30 something.
I know. So they really are. And you have to have that multi-generational thing, which we'll talk about in a second. But it feels like 20 years ago, it took you 15 years of not staying on your game to become irrelevant. Today,
It's
boom,
It's a lot faster.
boom.
now.
Like if you're not, and by the way, I'm sure in your business and in our business, there are people that get a little bit dusty over time. And they're resting on their laurels. It can't happen.
No.
And so today, I mean, in our world, like we have something called Project Uber where we spend, how are we going to be Uber, not taxi? Right. So how are we going to be adding value instead of going out of business? And in every industry, there's Uber and taxi. And really the quickness to irrelevance is
It's mind-boggling how fast you can
Mind-boggling.
become irrelevant
it's
today.
mind-boggling.
I know it really is.
But it's interesting you said
so when
you read that article,
yeah
right? But there it
That-
is,
that I
right? So like
that I
what
printed,
podcast?
though he didn't
For
read it first,
sure,
I printed
But you read it, but you're
The
getting
old
better every day. So like what podcasts are you listening to? I mean, we talked about you driving to Florida. What podcast do you listen to? So it's interesting. You guys are still interested in getting better. We talked about what do we do in Naples and right. And it matters.
always getting better.
And you know what? Though, like you guys seem like you're really happy with your business. And some people are like, man, that's all they think about. Don't you think people that have that passion are happier?
I do, but sometimes I feel guilty that I love working so much.
I
I feel like I
But
should.
we have a happy business. We're
Sure.
we're here to celebrate people's good times, right?
their
So
moments.
how could we not be happy about our
true.
business?
People
Because
with
it's not like, I mean, and there's a lot of money to be made in ball bearings and,
Right.
parts or whatever, but this is something that we get to share in all the good things that are happening in your life. And we get to share in all the good things that are happening within other customers'
It's
lives.
interesting.
So it's
We love dentists. We have a lot of clients that are dentists. God bless the dentist. You're not a dentist.
right,
People that are coming into you, like it's a good thing.
right.
Like they're right. I mean, they're
Right. We're still solving problems, but they're not problems that are life
right.
altering
Right.
problems. Where somebody's had a promotion, they're having an anniversary, they just feel good that day and they want to buy themselves something.
Right.
So that's their problem and we're helping them solve that.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, I
It
just
is true. You get to see like really good moments.
yeah, good
Right.
moments.
We unfortunately see both.
People
Right.
crying.
Yeah.
I mean, we get the sad parts. And that's when I have to sit down with, a couple of the descendants from the customer that passed away, and they wanted me to help them
Yeah.
divide the jewelry up because there's three
Okay. So wait.
three siblings.
Yeah.
to
Okay.
share.
Wait a minute. I remember the story. We talked about this in the past because we deal with it also, right? And so I think one of the blessings we have for our clients is we make sure we try our best to make sure everybody's happy and we take care of the family when the mom or dad or both are gone. We take care of families, and sometimes it can get
Emotional.
yes. And so for clients to really spend time thinking about who gets what, right? And really, really lay that out.
You might want to think about like who gets going to get what here, or whatever, but then they don't want to face their own mortality.
Or they'll fight about a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
My kids won't, your kids won't. But yes. And we say things like, oh, if something happens, stop saying that it's going to happen, prepare for it.
Right.
Right.
It is going to happen.
Stop it.
Right.
Right.
And we've seen easy transitions because, for whatever reason, the parents decided ahead of time,
Yes.
if Joey gets this, Susie gets that. However, we've also run into situations where, one sibling might decide, well, that's really mine. I want that.
Right.
I was entitled to that. And it might be the most expensive thing in what's left behind of the estate. And then that just causes issues for years.
It's emotional.
It is. It can split families. It can divide families. And, the best way to do it is just talk about it ahead of time. If you don't want it written down,
Write it down.
write it down
Right.
somewhere and someone's going to
Write it down
afterwards.
Have it part of your estate plan.
Right.
We have a vault. We can keep notes in a vault for estate plans. Write it down. So, okay. So this is a great generation. You guys are doing great. you're in it together, you're loving it. How do you continue at I think so. We have a multi-generational family or a business just like you do, and I don't know that I respect them as much as I do today, but to really have a business that survives the test of time, it's hard. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, my son and I, we get along great. It's been a dream, but I know you guys have the same thing. Like you're all in it. It's a family. How do you think about that?
Well, I think one key factor is as a consumer, I think you feel comfortable doing business with with another business that's been around for more than one generation. So right now we're dealing with grandchildren of some of my original customers from 45 years ago. So we're seeing that happen again, part of the whole legacy and generational cycle.
But if you're willing, that's so similar. It's funny, jewelry and investments could be the same. If you're working with multi-generations, you need to have multi-generations.
Of course, yeah, because I'm not going to be around one day to handle this. So the generation prior, and we have 4 grandkids, so we're kind of eyeing them up to see who's going to be the ones that really may want to jump in to this if they want to jump in.
Got to watch the grandkids.
We were lucky though that our kids all decided on their own after college and doing their own thing, all decided to come back. That was their choice. We didn't force them to do it. So, once they joined, then they all became specialized in different areas of the business. So we were very lucky. Now,
So now what we need to be careful of in multi-generational businesses, the grandchild saw you have it and they see you going to Naples and they didn't see you buzzing people in.
Right. Exactly.
no, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But
And so
having the second generation, though, while it's a blessing, it is sometimes not I don't want to say a curse because you really feel the responsibility of the success of the company.
you think.
That if you one day when we are gone, which we will be because we're not getting younger, will this company survive? That they have to make sure that the company survives.
And you have and you work daily to make sure it survives the test of
Right,
time.
because success isn't a destination. It's something you're working at every single day. You're never successful. You're never like there because
there's always
look at
another
these
level.
retail
Oh,
giants.
and only the paranoid survive. Like when I ask you, like, how do you know you made it? And people say, my daughter's fiance said, like, hey, when's the grind over? And I
It
said,
never.
I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's
Well,
not
just when you think you've got your arms around it, something else, something's going to change.
right.
And that's our key, retail. And the 45 years that we've been doing this, we've seen so many trends, so many.
Well, 35 on our own, 10.
35 on our own, but 10 prior with Bailey's. And, if you're not constantly keeping your eyes open to what's happening out there, you do become stale and you become irrelevant and your business suffers for it and dwindles.
And I always tell my kids, work is life.
And
And it is. I mean, it's nice to have. I mean, we want them to have the opportunity. Like when we first started our business, our children were involved in sports and this and that. But guess what? He didn't get to go that much.
right, you make
I did.
sacrifices.
We had to
you do.
make this.
But you taught them that you taught your children that in life you have to make sacrifices.
Yes, and
Which is an
That's
important.
the lesson there.
That's not a bad
But
lesson.
as a parent, you don't want to see them have to make the same sacrifices
Right.
with their kids.
Right.
So
Yeah. So, I will
That's
tell you,
why-
I was coach of the team, so I could organize the practices around my schedule. I hate to say that. Sorry, kids. I wanted to coach you too, but I also wanted to maybe make, that's the only way I could get there. You know what I mean? So I became coach so I could organize the practices. But you do have to make the sacrifice. But I think to have, and listen, I know next week you're going to be spending time with your kid. I get it. Like me too. But to have balance, you need to understand you need to be out of balance at times. So if your business needs you at 7:00 at night, you need to be there. If your family needs you at 8 in the morning, you need to be there.
right.
But that's balance.
That's balance.
It doesn't mean I'm home every day for dinner at 5:00.
Right.
That's
That's
working life.
we completely
Different thing.
will you write that down?
Yeah, I take it.
Yeah,
Yeah. thank you for the conversations.